Dear social interactions, we've always had a love-hate relationship throughout my life. When you bring along some amazing people, it's fun, it feels great, and it's enjoyable. When you don't, it feels really awkward and uncomfortable. Or at least, that's certainly been my experience with it anyway. If that's something you can relate to, hello and welcome. My name is Andrew. Feel free to say hi, and don't be shy. After all, I'll try my best to be friendly and welcoming. As an introvert, I can often find socially interacting with new people to be quite awkward and challenging. But I imagine this is something we can all relate to at some point in our lives. So what could we do to help with this process? Well, what if I said that an ice cube could help make this whole process simpler and more comfortable? In this video, I'd like to share 3 ways in how this could help visualize these challenges and help break down these barriers to help make meeting new people and interacting with them to be more relaxing and enjoyable. So when it comes to social occasions, especially when it comes to meeting new people, the ideal scenario would probably look something like you're hitting the ground running and you interact with the people you come across with confidence, it goes smoothly and you're having a good time. So if we try to visualize this, let's take this drink. Imagine ourselves as an ice cube, the drink itself as the other person or people, and the glass cup as the social occasion. And over time, the ice cube gradually melts to become liquid water, which mixes well to become part of the rest of the drink. So this is our ideal scenario, where over time our interactions gradually become smoother and we get on well, or mix well, with the new people present. We become more relaxed and we warm up to the social occasion more and more. But of course, the reality isn't always like that, and I was certainly reminded of that from a recent networking event I attended, where I noticed at certain points when interacting with new people I came across, the interactions quite quickly became rigid and uncomfortable. Here's how some of these moments felt like to me. Scenario 1. You feel uncomfortable, can overthink what to say, or even think a lot of your thoughts aren't worth sharing. Scenario 2. You become nervous and anxious. It's also possible to develop strong desire to leave the event. If persistently symptomatic, it could be mistaken as a headache or migraine by other attendees. Finally, in Scenario 3. Spiraling thoughts and nerves get the best of you, making you quiet. You become overly shy, your personality locks up. You want to remove yourself from the social engagement, but at the same time, you don't have the courage to make an exit and run for it. It's a conflicting struggle that may cause passerbys to show and express concern. But it didn't have to be this painful. Speaking of painful, all of this cold chat is making it quite chilly in here, so a like and subscribe will be warmly appreciated. So to make these moments more pleasant, I drew upon a few simple prompts that felt easy and comfortable to fall back on as and when I needed them, which leads us into visualizing what these prompts might look like from the perspective of an ice cube. Well, before we start, you might be wondering, Andrew, why do you keep going on about ice cubes? What on earth do they have to do with helping to make social interactions more comfortable? Well, imagine it's a hot, blistering summer's day. The heat is unbearable and you feel like you're being cooked in your own skin. But have no fear, the ice cubes are here, ready to save the day. They help keep our ice drinks cool, helping us to stay feeling chilled and refreshed. They're very much our best friends during these times, and there's certainly lots of safety and comfort in these moments. So with those feelings of comfort and safety in mind, here are 3 different ways that an ice cube could help make the whole process of connecting with new people to be smoother. Point number 1. Finding common ground. Whether you found it easy or difficult, when it comes to meeting new people, we all start off at the same point. That is, we're all navigating unfamiliar territory. So even if you may know something about the other person, you won't know what they're actually like, and more importantly, whether you'll click with them until you've personally interacted with them. So as a starting point, try to think of it as like we're floating for survival, similar to our ice cubes when we first add them to our drink. So the reason it can be helpful is because it offers some things to think about that everyone can already relate to, like the food at the occasion, the venue that you're in, or even the event itself. And you can start by making a comment, giving an opinion, or even sharing a fact followed by a question. It's an opportunity to start simple or to test the water, so to speak, by giving that drink a little stir to see how it goes from there. And upon asking a question leads us into point number 2, and that it's time to listen. Being able to socialize well doesn't always mean talking a lot. It's also important to be able to be an active listener. So give people the opportunity to answer your questions without interruptions, And you can demonstrate your understanding by reflecting or elaborating on what they say. Also, whilst they're talking, feel free to make the occasional nod to show that you're still paying attention. It helps others feel seen and heard, and it gives people the opportunity to really get to know each other. And beyond learning about a person's interests, their values, and their passions, it also helps to see whether you're likely to get on well with a person, and more importantly, whether it will likely lead to a proper connection. Also, this can be really useful, especially if you're nervous, because in general, people do tend to like talking about themselves. And finally, point number 3, go with the flow. In short, go with what feels natural and comfortable to you. So if the conversation plays out and there's a lengthy silence, or it simply doesn't flow even after you've tried, give yourself permission to use that as a cue to move on and take a break, to go interact with someone else, and if relevant and necessary, to call it a day on the socializing. But above all else, what matters is that you've tried. So whether or not you have some great connections to follow up on, hopefully the experience will give you more confidence to try again next time. So by visualizing these 3 prompts using an ice cube, hopefully you will find them simple and helpful to fall back on, helping you to feel more confident and comfortable when it comes to meeting new people and making new social connections. So which of these prompts did you find most helpful? What other approaches have you come across that you've also found helpful when it comes to meeting new people? Feel free to share and discuss by sounding off in the comments below. Thanks for watching.